Welcome, everyone. Actually, the music just turned off. Welcome. We are going to continue this Dune movie review part two. Do what we can. I'm waiting on the guests to come in. We decided that they will talk and speak until the volume is where I can share. I really don't have much to share. I just wanted to bring you all to the Red Pet best I could. So I will continue with that. Ramutef has a link. Tech has a link, aka Mentat, and Mother Matriarch Selima Ellis has a link. So I appreciate you all being here and working with me. I had no idea. Last year when I was here at the Red Pet, things were different. So I prepared based on the information I had. So I apologize for any inconveniences, and I appreciate you all for working through this with me. It's an honor to be here and to have you all here and be working with me. So I am going to actually mute. Well, nobody's here speaking, so I'll let y'all listen to the music, and I'm going to carry the laptop around so y'all can see some of what's going on. Gratitude, y'all. Or actually, no, I'm just turning it around so y'all can see. That'll work. And I also saw Makakubu here. Udama Akeyor, he's here. So these are the not we haven't started yet. I think we're still setting up. The rain is raining here today. It's a little drizzly, little cloudy, so it's caused some delay of some sort. Is what's going on, I think, here. So again, we're at the Rimpet New Year's celebration in Boston, in Roxbury at 300 Walnut Avenue at the National Center for African American Artists. And I have a guest with me actually. Oh, y'all know what? I brought this stuff. I got partway set up the table for sharing the vendors items that I was going to bring, and people were looking at the camera everywhere. People were looking at actually, y'all know what? The table is flying away. The wind, they set me up right quick, and with the wind and conditions, it's tables flying away. So we set this stuff here to keep it here. And so as I was on the broadcast, I just looked up. All of a sudden, there was a line of people up here, like looking at the products. I didn't know what was going on, so I realized, oh, they're looking at the products. So I have a matriarch here with me. Not sure she want to be on camera, but she was speaking to me. We on the table, I have the event hand cards for Ramutef, my event with Ramutef Queb, and I was talking to her about the astrology, and she was asking about the readings, and I was telling her that Ramutef does the reading, so she'll be with him soon. I also had shared with her my part in part brief, which would be the history of the changing of the glyphs of the astrological signs. So she's a writer, and she was talking to me. She's about to start talking to me about her viewpoint on how they can just change things, which was my viewpoint. How can it be relevant if you're changing parts and pieces? It's just the irrelevance is here. Ramutef is here. You want to speak, Ramutef? You want to sit down?
No, okay, right.
Because I don't know how well they can hear you.
Yeah, I'm just here to support real quick. Definitely everyone, thank you. Red Pet did that to everyone. Dua, Ashe. Definitely, guys. About to get started. I'm trying to get myself set up as well. Everyone's coming when everybody's coming.
We're on the broadcast.
I'm trying to do the broadcast.
You want to come on in here?
Yeah, come on in.
She's like, no. Hold on. Ramutef got y'all. I'll be back.
Yeah. Definitely on this glorious day, what is called Red Pet, the helical horizon of Septet and Ra. A lot of people don't know about what is actual New Year. We have multiple New Years, but this New Year specifically is dealing with a cosmic one. If those who know about basically how you say that marking of the age, that's dealing with how you say the spring equinox. That's what we all know as to be the in a sense a new year, all because of the symbolism of how life grows in a sense, or life coming back to the earth. But there's also a cosmic new year where our planet has made one complete revolution around the sun. That's the day that we're celebrating. Also, the days go further into 72, to be honest, and I'm gonna start introducing folks to that as well. But starting working today, it's a 72 day of celebration. 72 days of celebration, honor, fasting, festivals, whatever you can think of. This is our New Year's. Happy New Year's, everybody. Happy New Year's, everybody.
Oh, I'm ready.
Are you ready?
No, I'm going. I was
Yeah.
waiting for the line to go down. I gotta greet the hostess.
Are we live? That's it. We live right now. Right?
Yes, we're live right now.
I know, right? Well, I appreciate everyone. I'll be right back. I'll be right back.
Oh, y'all know what? Watch the crowd. Watch the crowd move.
We got beautiful soaps here, huh?
Yes.
You make them yourself?
No, actually, these soaps are made by Common Sense Marcia Harris Owens. Her name's on this. Is her business card right here, and she is in Virginia, and her address. Well, yeah, she's in Virginia. Get her address down. I'll write that down for you. And she also makes this soap powder and these soaps right here with the loofahs in them. Y'all see that? Loofahs in it, yes. Hold on, be on this. Yep. Yep, it's got the loofah in it. Where's that thing? Mother Matriarch Marcia Harris Owens. They want to talk to you at this table. They want to talk to you at this table.
I'm a soap guy. I use Dr. Bonner's soap.
Yes, and also this is my favorite soap. There's a sample if you want to try it. Yeah, the monkey farts is down here on this side. Yep. I bought a sample of the monkey farts. Y'all better get y'all some monkey farts if you don't have any. Marcia Harris Owens, Common Sense. She needs y'all to. Yep, Marcia's here. Huh? Yes, take a couple of cards, definitely. Where my thing at? Y'all roll with me. Roll with me today. Roll with me today. I'm on a live broadcast. So I'm talking. Yeah.
I'm a soap guy.
Marcia, I'm gonna send you a link right now.
I'm going to every table and buy something.
Oh, for real?
I already been to 2 tables already. I bought a ring on that over there, Aqua Marina.
Oh, wow, that's beautiful.
Just over there. And I bought history here. And then the brother.
Oh, yeah, I'm familiar. I'm familiar.
You're a Bostonian?
I am from Indianapolis, Indiana.
Get out of here. I got a friend of mine I just talked to from Indianapolis.
For real?
His name is Steve Davis.
Oh, I'm not familiar with him.
Oh, he just left there. Yeah. I renovate houses, so he wants me to come out there and buy some houses.
Okay, that's what's up.
But yeah, I just talked to him.
Marcia, we need a bag for the soap. I'm gonna work on bags. Bag, he gonna put them in his hoodie pocket. I got a bag right here. Peace, peace, peace. Cornisha Hudson. We also have Pluto Nation here. I don't know if she want to be on the screen. You know, y'all know I ain't about to put, but I'm gonna let y'all know she here. Now, does she want to come on camera?
Peace, family. Peace, family. I'm just here celebrating. I'm here to be a service. I'm servicing my family. I ain't bring no products, but I bought my love.
She brought her love, and I appreciate her. She set the table up, and to help keep this, she's done so much. That's the least. Okay, let me back up. The smallest thing she did today, because she's done many things today. The tablecloth was flying away, and she set the stuff out to hold it down till the proper clips come and set us get us tight right around here, tight right around here. So yeah, we here at the New Year's celebration, the Rim Pet, and I have people coming in the studio. Okay, y'all got. I scan because I gotta keep my eye out my granddaughter, right? You know what I mean? I keep my.
She over there getting down on that singing bowl. She's setting a whole frequency on that side.
She over there making them singing bowls happy. And when I get situated together, I'm gonna share those videos on my Facebook page. So if you're not familiar with my Facebook page, y'all want to see some videos and pictures, because I'm not gonna be able to do any of that really on here. Check me out on Facebook on Joy at Joy Allen, and get the latest videos and images I have available. And we have someone else here. We got some few people here. Y'all know, I don't know who I want to be on camera. They probably know I'm live. They just like she over there being anti-social. Yeah. I'm not. Y'all know I'm not. Out here with me. I'm not being antisocial. The day we planned to be here earlier in the day. Really, it was so much, which was the plan, and that's not. This is the case. This is the divine case right here. So we are here live, Boston, Roxbury, at the National Center, African American Artists. I think I know I'm saying that right. Let me pull up a share screen so y'all know where I'm talking about, where I'm at. Yep. Let me get y'all here. Cause my so we got Marcia Owens Harris coming in here. Hold on, y'all.
Man, the incense in the air.
That's what that is, incense. Peace. There she is.
I'm trying to figure out how to work all this electronic stuff. I'm like, wait, what is?
Okay, you was trying to defeat me today. I was like, no, sir. No, sir.
I can't never get this on my my phone for some weird reason. So I have to figure this.
Go ahead, talk to us, Marcia. Talk to us. Tell us who you are. Tell us about these fabulous products and some other fabulous, magnificent, divine, excellent things about yourself. Gratitude.
Well, I'm Marcia Harris Owens of Common Sense. And as y'all can see, I'm in my room with my clutter because when I get to doing stuff everywhere. I had to go to the doctor that couldn't find my socks, so socks went everywhere. I make bath and body products. I study a little bit of herbalism. See, here go this lady. I do food deliveries. That's what's ringing now. My husband is Black Star Organite. He makes organite and different products, which crystals and gemstones. This is one of our photo albums: Dream, Courage, Inspire, Harmony. These are some of the things that he's made over the years. That's so pretty. So just so y'all can see, he does a lot of things for different people. It doesn't matter what religion you subscribe to. He'll make you a piece. We don't discriminate. He loves what he does. and I love what I do. So I like helping people. I have a front yard and a backyard garden. I like helping people to get back to nature. That is my main goal. My website is commonsenseforyou.org, and his is Etsy, Moreware. You can find him on Etsy and Moreware. I also sell the elderberry kits. This is some laundry detergent that I've made, but I try to show people how to do things for themselves. So this was a laundry detergent, so I could show them how to make their own. This is a body brush, so you can get your lymphatic system to start shedding unnecessary waste. This right here was me showing people how to make their own all-purpose cleaner. Instead of throwing your citrus pills away, you can put them in vinegar with a few other herbs and let it sit for 30 days, and you'll have your own all-purpose cleaner. My sugar scrub cubes, that's me, my hands. And some of the soap art I make, I also make soap art, and my husband makes the shungite soap. Yeah, they used to have an auction out here for the fruits and vegetables. I'm so sad that that's no longer going on. I was loving that. And then here I was making the salads in a jar. So I put a bunch of salads in a jar, mason jars, and they last for about 7 days. 7, I would say 6 days to be safe. The elderberry syrup, the elderberries, the bath bombs. I make mineral bath bombs and regular bath bombs as well. Crystals and gemstones. Some of the soap. But Joy Allen loves the monkey fart, so that's her thing. So y'all see her. I make the herbal tooth powder. And support all the small businesses. We care what you think. I make lip balm. I make essential oil inhalers, deodorant. I have the bags that you can put your soap in so you don't have to throw it away. That's my symbol. And that's it. Dream, courage, inspire, and harmony. And I don't know what happened to Joy Allen. Where did she go? I'm here by myself. Hi. I'm trying to see if I can find her.
Mother matriarch, Marcia Harris on the table.
And I don't know what happened to Joy Allen. Oh, there she is. I'm by myself. Hi. I pretty much broke down everything I do, Joy. If you want to come back on the screen, I'm trying to see if I can find her. Okay, now. Where you at? I see me. I don't see you. Well, if you all have any questions, I can see in the comments. So I seem to be solo here. Well, the show must go on. So once again, I'm Marcia Harris, owns of Common Sense, along with my husband, Black Star Organite. My husband creates various crystals and gemstones. He creates a whole array of different art pieces. His pieces are very reasonably priced. The only thing that's probably expensive is our full-size skull, which we put a bunch of crystals and gemstones in it. We make it glow in the dark. We also include a security case for your full-size skull. So that'll probably be the only thing that's expensive, which is really cheap. It's like $500, where somebody else will charge you like $2,000 for that particular art piece. We try to make things affordable for everyone. We also have these phone shields that's on the back of my phone. That's called a shungite phone shield, which helps get the EMF and the RMF away from you so that you don't have to have that coming into your brain. Please stop allowing your children under the age of 13 to play with electronic devices. It is literally sucking the moisture out of their brains. You won't notice they have an issue until later on in life, but that's what's going on. I can definitely have my husband custom make you a piece. His phone number is 757-749-1932, and he will custom make a piece for you. He loves doing custom designs. Sometimes he has to create the molds himself so that he can make the piece. So everything isn't already made. Sometimes he has to do extra work, but he doesn't really charge extra money for it. We're also working with someone who does the copper wrapping, so that they can add to the value of our pieces. So even though they're great when we make it, sometimes people want a little extra flair. So we do the copper wrapping. My husband tries to accommodate anyone artistic mind. This guy, one of his customers, wanted these bubble pieces with the eye of Ra in it, and it's full of crystals and gemstones. It has to go through the final polishing process. So nothing leaves out of our house without me critiquing it and making sure that it's 100%. If I feel something that shouldn't be there, I let him know, and then he has to explain to me if that's fixable, or if the piece just happened to come through, like some of the crystals will come through the resin, and that happens. But he does try to give that extra care to it. Right now, he's been making little pieces with the unicorns inside, because unicorns seem to be a big thing all of a sudden. So I have some pieces. I'm waiting for my friend. See, oops, my bad. That one fell. They're around here somewhere. This is some other pieces he's working on. Some of these pieces you can just put in your pocket, or you can have them wrapped. Like I said, I do work with an artist called Only Free, ONLYPHRE, Only Free. He does our wraps for us, and he's located in Norfolk, Virginia. And he does some really great work, because we were looking for someone to collaborate with. You know, it's not all about the money with us. We like to help others as well and get them noticed. So we found somebody who could make our pieces even better with the design work. We do the general designs, but sometimes, like I said, you might want a little extra flair, and that's where Freestones comes in at. I have a piece, but it's all the way downstairs. I didn't realize I was going to be on here today. I would have brought it up. And he made it for me. Y'all know what? If y'all give me 2 minutes, I'm going to go get this piece, because it's amazing. I will be right back. Y'all just excuse my clutter. Are you downstairs? Okay. Ooh, I'm back. So now this piece was supposed to go to Chicago when I went to go pick my mother, but I forgot to. I thought it was in my bag, but it wasn't. Now this piece, Freestones, this piece is $250. This piece, Freestones wrapped for us. This is his wrap work, but this is our crystals and gemstones and our polished finish work. This eye glows in the dark. And it's a fairly, as you can see, is covering my face. So it's a fairly large piece, which I would say it would be for a male. I would not suggest a female try to wear this, because it's got some weight on it. I mean, unless you want to punch somebody in the face. I mean, you could do that. But Freestones wrapped it for us, and he did an amazing job of wrapping this piece for us. So we work with him as well. Like I said, we don't do the wraps. We don't do the copper wrapping. So we got with another artist. So, you know, everybody can eat. We don't want all the money. We want to help others to get noticed. And Joy Allen actually has a piece from Freestones. She doesn't have it with her, but she has an armband. It's beautiful too. As soon as I showed it, she wanted it. So I made sure it got to her. So that's somebody else that we work with. And we'll work with anybody. If somebody's trying to start a small business and they don't know where to start, we can help you by giving you some soap, and you can start there. We'll do a wholesale. I just had a lady just order 200 bars from me, and what she mark them up to, that's on her. But I gave her a really steep discount, so she can put that in her business and she can make some money. And she can do that as long as she wants with me, because everybody doesn't make everything. Yeah, it's not difficult to make soap, but sometimes you just don't have time. So you can use us as a resource. Bath bombs, lip balm. I can make those things in bulk. So stuff like that. Joy Allen has a bunch of my tooth powder. I can make that in bulk any day of the week. Essential oil inhalers. I can make that in bulk. So if you're trying to start a small business and you don't have a product, use me as a resource. I will give you a great deal. And then once you get up and running, if you decide you want to go in another direction, that's fine. But use me as your resource. At least you're sourcing from someone that looks like you, that actually cares. And Joy Allen will tell you every time I send her something, it's a whole bunch of other stuff in the box. And she's like, what is this? What is this? I didn't pay for this. I know. Every time, I just can't help myself. I get carried away. You want to get in contact with me, my phone number is 757-383-0202. 757-383-0202. And like I said, I'm here for you all. I'm not trying to get all the money. It's enough crumbs for all of us to eat. I'm going down to Georgia next month with Farouk Hunter of Freedom Village, and we're finna figure out how we're going to build out this village, because we're trying to go off grid and be self-sufficient. So that's something else you all can look at. Farouk Hunter, Faruq, and he knows a lot. Right now he's in Kazakhstan, and he travels the world learning different trades and crafts, and he brings that knowledge back to us. He's been to over 80 countries. I say 200. He said the number smaller. I think he done went to some of them repeatedly. That's how I came up with 200, because I see him and his family all across the globe. You can Google him. He's on YouTube. He's a big deal. A lot of people don't know about him, but he has a vision from his father that he wanted to create this utopia for us, people of color, and he's doing that over there in Kazakhstan. He just got 50 families to come over there. He can get the 5-year visa and all of that. So you all don't have to stay in the United States and be mad. You can go somewhere where people that look like you had the same vision. All you got to do is be willing to work hard. It ain't no cakewalk. So don't get over there and be like, oh man, I didn't know I was going to be doing all this. How you think we going to build it if we don't put the work in? So reach out to him if you really want to get off grid, if you want to have something for yourself. I just bought 3 acres from him in Georgia. So next month, the middle of Georgia, we're going to have a powwow, 4-day powwow. My husband makes flags. Well, he doesn't make them. He resources the flags, and we sell flags. We sell hats, all type of T-shirts that he came up with his own design. So it's a lot of things we do that we're very creative, and that's what we do all day. That's why I got this clutter, because we always creating something, and then we can't find. Yeah, it's crazy. I need a full-time somebody to just do that, to keep that in order. Farouk Hunter, Faruq. Hunter, Farouk. You can Google him. If he's like a mastermind, this computer genius, and he does all this phenomenal stuff. Anything you think you want to build, he probably already found out how to do it. So he's a great resource. He builds bricks from the soil, and these bricks are they almost bulletproof. So I'd rather have a brick house anyway. They can keep this side and stuff. This is ridiculous. But your friend relocated to Ghana. That's cool. Like I'm saying, if y'all want to go over there to Kazakhstan with Farouk Hunter, he just brought like 50 families over there. They got him managing. Okay, he got 220 acres in Georgia. And if you add another 0 to that number, that's what he's managing over there in Kazakhstan. So 2,200 acres of land over there. I'm just saying, he need help, and he gonna make sure you good. So invest in yourself, invest in your time, get your passports. get on that plane and get you and your family up out of here. He taking whole families, not just one person. You bring your whole family. That's what he about, family. He got his wife there. Let's see. It's him, his wife. I know the 2 boys are there, and it might be 3 girls, but he got like 9 kids. So, but not all of them are there now because the adult ones stay here, but the children are there with him, and they run like a well-oiled machine. If you check him out on YouTube, he'll tell you how they run like a well-oiled machine. Ain't nobody griping and they don't want to do that. No, they like work harder. They ain't trying to hear that. Everybody get up and get everything in order. We too busy being mad because somebody doing so. Okay, so this person got to carry the water and you got to carry the bricks. But both of y'all are important. Because if your bricks don't get carried, we can't build none. If they don't carry that water, you going to dehydrate and you still can't build none. So don't be mad at the water carrier because you feel like they got an easy job. Nah, we all got a role in this building our utopia. But we can't sit here and not do anything. Y'all, they keep complaining about it's going to be a food shortage. Then go grow your food. He's growing acres and acres and acres of food over there in Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan is about to be reopened, the Silk Road. Look up the Silk Road. He about to reopen all that up so we can be important to the world where they have to get stuff from us. Just like China, we got to get stuff from them. He about to switch that over. So we got to come through Kazakhstan. So I'm just telling y'all, the guy's the real deal. He's 100% legit. And he wants to make us back on top. And he'll tell y'all in a minute, he doing this for his people. But this was his father's vision. And he took up the mantle and said, I'm going to do it.
Gratitude. Right quick, we have the elder Makakubu here. And I would like for him to address everyone. And then we're going to go ahead and continue. Marcia, have you seen the movie Dune?
No, I got to check it out. It's on my list.
Okay, so we're going to discuss. We're going to continue with. And right now, I'm going to have him speak to you all. Gratitude.
Okay. Doing the chair. Udama Akayor.
Udama Akayor.
Lion of the New Dawn. Weapon of Pet in the Fair. Happy New Year. 6,261. Smatawi. Smatawi in antiquity meant the unification of Upper and Lower Kemet. In this day and time, it means the unification of the upper and lower consciousness with a K, not a C. Consciousness for the arc that thou saying is traveling through, known as Cosmon, K-O-S-M-O-N. Cosmon means all things known and unknown shall be sufficiently proven. That's why the manifestation of the heavens is unfolding this ma'at, this truth. Now, whether or not you believe in it, the vibratory frequency will permeate your entire molecular and cellular structure. I'm Makakubu Ali El Bey, and I want to greet you, Udama Akayor, Lion of the New Dawn. It is not a word, Udama Akayor, it's a vibratory frequency. It's the vibratory frequency of spiritual liberation. And as this day welcomes in the Kemetic Kushite year of 6,261, I want to make it known that as the Tao saying Milky Way galaxy traverses through the heavens, you will approach the year 6,300, which corresponds to the year 2060 on the Greco-Roman calendar. The cosmological year of 6,300 has a very significant vibratory frequency accompanying it. As I said, it corresponds to 2060. So beware be ready and embrace the healing. Healing is in four dimensions: spiritual, psychological, emotional, and physical. Most people only ascribe to physical healing when they get sick. They think when they go to church, they're doing spiritual healing, but the construct of the church is not what you think it is. I want to share with you what you call God is not the creator. God is a Germanic term out of the German language. The God of this world is Set. Set is Cain in the Bible. So you figure it out from there.
Mm,
Makakuvu Ali Obey. And I want to
mm.
thank Sister.
Os. He call me
Amen.
Os.
Yes, I do. I call her
Os.
Ostet Newt. But she corrects me, Joy Allen.
Yeah, some Joy Allen.
I
Yeah,
thank you. I thank you. Do it
gratitude.
chair. Put them out there.
Uduma York. So again, let's. I'm gonna mute the mic so y'all can hear Tech speak on the Dune movie review. I'm also gonna go see if I can reach Rumble Tech right quick. He's right over there. But either way, I'm gonna ask that me, myself, and Marcia mute our mics. Well, no, Tech, like, yeah, I'm gonna mute mine because Tech, y'all can have the conversation because Tech likes to interact by conversation. And I'm looking at
Yeah, I
y'all in
like
the
building.
studio. Y'all can't even see me. But gratitude, continue on, please.
Yeah, I like building. Building helps me. You know what I'm saying? Can you guys hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, cool, cool. All right, so look, we're gonna keep it moving. Hopefully, Ramutef will pull up and we can engage in a dialogue with that. Hopefully, you can bring back that other goddess. She made a good point about. Ooh, excuse me. She made a. Uh-oh.
Salima had an event to go to be at today herself, so if she can be back here, she will. I will reach out to her. At the same time, I'm reaching out to Ramutef.
Okay, cool, cool. No problem. No, but she's making a. Let's continue her point. She's making a good point about the divine feminine and their emergence in these movies. In the movie Dune, the priest, the sacred order was a feminine order called the Bene Gesserit. And long story short, they were tapping into Spice Melange, giving them ancestral powers. Again, like I mentioned in the other show, when you ingest Spice Melange, which we have naturally in our body, but in the movie, the characters had to ingest it as a outer substance, but it was giving them, supernatural abilities. So, and like I was saying before, they took out the word melange from the new miniseries remake they made. So I'm curious to see, are they going to have that word the word melange re-included? Now I figured the reason why I took that out is because they see that we're ascending in consciousness. Now the Bene Gesserit, they were ingesting the substance called Spice Melange, increasing their consciousness, giving them access to superpowers. You see what I'm saying? And this feminine order was actually that it is the highest order in the Dune universe. All right, because they don't show you any masculine orders within the universe that were tapped in on that level to a degree of cosmic power. Now, also, if you guys watch um, the series American Horror Story, they go in on that about how the feminine or the goddess, she has her etheric power. See, the masculine, we are we rule the physical realm, but the feminine, all right, she's the god of the etheric realm, and your soul, that's where your soul come down from. You know what I'm saying? So that you're gonna see that. That's why it's important that we continue checking out these science fiction movies that they're dropping, because they're assuming, again, like I mentioned in a previous show, They're assuming that we're just so stupid, and we're watching uh, things like Love and Hip Hop, which is still going on within our masses. You know what I'm saying? These a lot like beings like Tyler Perry and all these other people with money, instead of producing movies that are showing us at a elite level, they're still dropping on Medea, things like that. So until then, it's important that we are tapping into the science fiction, sci-fi stuff that they're dropping. Have you have you seen that? Have you seen Dune before?
No, I
Okay.
probably did a long time ago,
Okay.
but it's not like clicking in my mind. But I'm gonna
Okay.
watch it with my husband because he gets real deep into stuff and he breaks stuff down much better than I do because he sees it on a different, higher level than me.
Got
I'm
you.
still in my learning process, so I learn a lot. Trying to basically catch up with him makes me get more knowledge. So
Okay,
if
that makes
I
sense.
research, right, if I research something, he'll go and research it like times 10. And then when
Mm,
I'm talking about it, he'll just fill in all the missing blanks. So then I learn more that way because I'm more
mm,
of an audio learner
got you.
versus a visual. So when I'm hearing him talking about different things, then it starts to make me want to go and do the research on it so that I can have a conversation with my husband.
Got you. Okay, good. He sounds like a good husband.
He
What
is.
what will be, in your opinion, what is a good movie you saw that really represents? Instead, I know from a feminine perspective, I know you guys are getting tired of watching all these movies about men and their power. But what will be a good movie that you've seen that you think addresses the woman and her and her, her
to, to,
divinity?
to be honest,
Mm-hmm.
my husband watches a lot of documentaries. And
Oh,
what we
okay,
really started watching was anything to do with Nazi Germany and how Hitler came to power. And
okay,
some of the stuff is mind blowing to me how people they only tell us a small portion of what he did, but this guy was an evil genius on so many levels that you
facts,
wouldn't even think of. And
facts.
I'm just like blown away. Like one day I was watching it and then they said that the people that was like obese, overweight people, they was killing them and using their fat for fuel. I was like,
Okay,
what?
I didn't know that.
I never knew this.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
So I was like, what else is they doing? And they talk about how he interacted with the UFOs, how he went over there to Antarctica, how he crossed over into the other dimension. They don't tell us that on a basic level. And unless you go and study this dude, he was an evil genius and he covered a whole lot of bases.
Yo, you know what? Let's talk about that right quick. Let's back up because that's how I studied World War II a lot too. I'm a historian. I have a minor in history on
Okay.
accident. On accident. You know what I'm saying? But there's a lot of things that you're absolutely right. Hitler number one was never killed. He moved. Long
Right.
story short. All right. Long story short, the Germans actually won World War II. They
Yes.
moved. They made a deal with the Americans. And they told them, "Listen, we're going to send some of our scientists over to you, but we're
Yep.
gonna move our headquarters to Antarctica."
Yep.
Okay, and with the help of the now we're gonna get a little galactic. Okay, with the help of the Alpha Draconans and the Pleiadians, who are extraterrestrial star races, they
Right.
help them because long story short, because that gets to something else. But long story short, the Dracos and the other disagreeable aliens, so called, use that bloodline to do their work on the planet.
Right.
So Germany's actually the most high tech place on the planet
Yes.
amongst the European nations. What happened was they moved to Antarctica, all right, and the Dracos were giving them technology. Then they moved to the moon. Okay, when they moved to the moon, long story short, so that goes to the moon landing. During the moon landing, they did go to the moon, but what happened was they went to the moon and there were already races on there, the reptilians, and they told
Right.
them, if you want to build a base on the moon, this is our property. If you want to build a base on the moon, you gotta give us 300 women. So they sacrificed 300 women just to build a base on the moon. Now they don't consider their women sacred, so that's easy for them to do. You You know what I'm saying? If they would have came to us like that, that would have been that's against the galactic law. But without getting into that, they know better than to ask the sacrifice of 300 black goddesses. But anyways, so they moved. So the Germans moved to the moon, set up a base. Go check out Penny Bradley on YouTube. Penny, oh God. So what happened was they went to the moon, then they went to Mars, and they built a base on Mars. Okay, the Germans have set up a whole colonial governance on Mars. They got a couple colony on Mars. So basically, the high Nazi German command moved to Mars. Go watch the movie. Oh God, what's that movie? They made a movie about this too. I'm trying to think. I'm having a brain fart. They made a movie. If I can remember, I'll let you know.
Okay.
During the conversation. But when they moved to Mars, they were now they're fighting a war against the indigenous on Mars, the Germans. So what they're doing is on Earth, they're kidnapping children, torturing them. Because what happens is when you torture somebody, a child, you create a altered consciousness that you can take the altered consciousness and then you can put it into a cyborg body, or you can put it into a clone body. So they're kidnapping children, sending them to Virginia for training, then sending them to Mars to fight a war against the indigenous, and then they're sending them back here, re-aging them to the age of which they were kidnapped. It gets very deep, very complex. So now these people are waking up, just like black people are waking up. A lot of white folks are waking up to memory of a war on Mars. Go check this out. It's Penny Bradley. It's her, and then there's like a couple more who are having these memories of being on Mars fighting a war for the Martian Nazi Germans. So it gets very deep.
Wow. And see, that's the stuff that they don't tell us. But like I said, as I've been watching these documentaries, things are coming out slowly. Like I watched a documentary on the Titanic, found out that was a big ass lie and an insurance fraud.
I never knew that. Can you
Titanic,
go into that? Yeah, go into that. I don't know.
What's in the ocean? The reason they won't bring that ship up, because they can bring up submarines from the ground. They could have been brought that ship up. It's not actually the Titanic. It's the sister ship. It was two ships that looked identical. The first ship had got ran aground, and it had like a hole in it. So it couldn't sail. When they had paid all that money, so they said the Titanic wasn't quite ready. So what they did was they switched a lot of the stuff on the ships. So the ship that was supposed to be not ready to work ever again, JP Morgan got their money invested in that. So what they did was they switched the names. Now on all the steel is the name of the ship, but they won't bring that. The ship. They won't bring that one up from the ocean so they can strip it down so they can show that that's the other ship. The ship that was damaged is the ship that says sail. The captain that damaged that ship is the one who was selling it. And they told him to run it into the iceberg so it could sink and they could get the insurance money. But the people weren't supposed to get killed. It was another
you talking about the Titanic?
Yes.
I didn't know. I don't know nothing about
it was another ship out to sea, an empty ship waiting on them to signal them. They misread the signal because it was some fishermen out there shooting up flares. So when the Titanic shot up their flare, they thought it was still the fishermen. So by the time they got there, it was too late. The Titanic was supposed to sink, but all the people were supposed to get saved. All the rich people that were supposed to sail on the Titanic, mysteriously, they didn't board. Oh, we sick. We had a doctor's appointment, blah, 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 because they had already been told ahead of time that something was going to happen. Now, the captain didn't abandon ship. You're supposed to go down with the ship. Well, he didn't go down with that ship. He got his ass off of there. They took him to court, and they, behind closed doors, told them exactly what happened, his role in that disaster. They told him and everybody behind closed doors, we can never tell the people what happened because this whole country will be bankrupt from all the lawsuits.
Whew.
That's why they won't bring that ship up. They could bring it up. They didn't bring up them submarines from the bottom of the ocean. They can bring up that fake Titanic.
That's big facts. You're absolutely right.
This is the type of games they play with us. Hocus pocus, smoke and mirrors. The Twin Towers was a demolition. They used thermite to bring that building down. That was a controlled demolition. Whenever it falls straight down like that, that's a controlled demolition. I knew that as soon as I saw it. I said, that's a demolition. I've seen a lot of demolition videos. It comes straight down. Yeah, it was all about the money. That's why the guy sued them for both of them towers. He had just insured them, and he was like, yeah, I need all my money. But what y'all don't know, in the bottom of that building, in the basement, they was bringing out garbage trucks of gold from other countries that have it stored in the basement. So they basically was trying to tell these other countries that everything was collapsed and they couldn't get their money back, and we can't rescue it. They had already took it out in all of them garbage dumpsters. So they done swindled them out their damn money. It was a money grab. Now, John F. Kennedy family had some gold down there too, but his daughter told him, y'all gonna give me my father's gold. And they had to up it because she wasn't stupid. She knew what they did. So they gave her money, but I don't know if them other countries got that money back.
An inside job.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a controlled demolition. And ain't no building in the history of collapses ever fell straight down like that that's made out of steel. No, none of them.
Exactly. And, Black folks will
I'm for singing this song with Patan's Secret Star. Y'all hear it?
Yeah.
Down low. And no other. Everybody rise. Everybody rise. Rise for something. Everybody rise. Rise for something. Something's rising. Everybody should know, but they don't know nothing. All right, y'all. I'm done my solo break. Go ahead, y'all.
No, I was just gonna say that we over here, a lot of times we as so-called Black people, we're always looking at what the white man doing to us, but look what he's doing to his own people. Good Lord.
They don't care. It's called self-preservation. I'm preserving myself. I don't care about the rest of you all.
Yes. And that's the downfall. That's their downfall. Is that. Cause look what they're doing. I'm still learning about that Twin Towers, saying that it was a demolition. And then during when that plane hit the Pentagon, they didn't find no airplane?
I don't know where that lie came from. There was no. That whole building would have been taken. The whole side would have been gone.
Oh God, these people they think we're stupid, and it's getting irritating.
And we buy into the stupidity because everybody out here having all these memorial services, and I'm like, y'all need to go look. Some people were smart that wasn't in the Twin Towers, and they just let them think they was dead and let their family collect the insurance money and change their name. Cause like the guy that had that owned the building, he usually was at the building every day, and all his grown adult children. That day they all mysteriously had doctor's appointments.
Oh God. And okay, so during the Twin Towers, why did all the Jewish people not show up? You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, they was gone too.
They was gone. No, there you go. No soul. Who said that? No soul. No buy. Okay, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Most of them don't carry ba. If you don't have a ba, that means you're not gonna have any emotional, because your soul deals with emotions. So right. If you have no soul, you have no emotions for your actions. So you just do based upon like you said, self-preservation without thinking about, okay, if I do this, how this person gonna feel? You see what I'm saying? That's a whole nother subject though. That no soul. But I saw a comment that said no soul. That's
Yeah.
big facts.
Yeah,
Big
they don't
facts.
have any souls, and that's why they do what
No
they
soul.
do, because it
No
doesn't
soul.
bother them any.
And what's going to happen is, and that's actually what's going on right now with them. They're facing, I don't want to say unfortunately, but they are facing extinction because if you don't have a soul, your spirit is going to be, they have spirit or ka. Your spirit is going to be bounded to the planet. Long story short, our ancestors are the ones who control the galactic and universe. So they're the
Right.
ones that have oversight over all spirit and all solar beings because we are as solar children incarnated. We are their children. So you think our ancestors are gonna allow them to ascend beyond this plane of existence for what they did? No. You know what I'm saying? So that's also why they don't like us. It's not one of the most important, most valuable things in the universe or on this planet. It's not money, it's everlasting life, and
Yes.
that's what we have. It's not money. Listen, they got you thinking it's money, but they want to live forever, like you are going to be. This is just an avatar. Once just an avatar, you get as many as you want. Okay, the soul is what Unc is, everlasting life, and they're trying to get that. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I
Right.
tell black people, remember your abundance. Without getting, I don't want to get sidetracked. But I just saw that comment. That comment kind of sparked me off on that. But that's why they're doing what they're. That's why I tell. I try to educate so-called black people, let them know that listen, you cannot get upset on what they're doing. I understand why you are getting upset, but it's because they don't have a buy. So they're like a gun. You can't get mad at a gun, get mad at the user. And if you want to get deeper, you know, our ancestors, we are the ones who created them. Okay, so a lot of us
Yes,
have to a lot of us have
that
to
is true.
reincarnate.
Right.
Okay,
They're my
okay.
cousins.
Oh, okay. So a lot of us have to reincarnate and deal with this, clean this shit up. Let's put it like that. Clean the shit up.
Now, what I want you to tell the people is a lot of us, especially in the United States, all the toxin poisons and stuff they put in this so-called food. Tell the people what they should be eating on a regular basis versus what they have been taught is the food pyramid.
The food pyramid. Mm-mm-mm. So they know that. Okay. So they know that that's actually targeted towards us. They know that we have 12 strands of DNA that are 3 are active when you're born, and then the other 9 are dormant. Okay, that's where a lot of your hidden powers are. Things like telepathy and all that, and psychometry. Long story short, and then the melanin. Okay, if you're not eating right, if you're eating, I call it the devil's diet. Blood, sugar, and pus equals the devil's diet. Okay, like a flesh-eating zombie. Okay, we're not zombies. We're children of the sun. So we're supposed to be eating You're supposed to be eating food that has been absorbed by energy, not only coming from the sun, but also coming in from the other suns, the millions of suns in the cosmos, and the galactic sun, which is our central core. You know what I'm saying? All that is bombarding the planet. So we're supposed to be, when you're breathing, you're intaking it. You're also supposed to be intaking it when you're eating. Okay? A lot of these bad foods, and then on top of that, when you're eating bad food, it slows down your vibration, which makes you susceptible to disease. You can be immune. Listen, if you eat right, you can make your body immune to disease. If you catch anything, your body will be so high vibrational that that lower vibrational entity, aka disease, cannot survive within it. Period. So a high vibration and a high vibrational alkaline sun drenched diet, you know what I'm saying? It makes you immune. A lot of these people out here who are transitioning, I don't want to say dying, but transitioning early is because of not because of so-called CV. I'll use Nick code
Excuse
words.
me.
Go
One
ahead.
moment.
Go ahead.
If we could, let's hear. Do I woo? Are you gonna sit with?
I'm gonna sit with you.
What's up? Hey,
Hey.
what's up?
Ete pu, do I, panata,
Hey,
Quiero cuidarse open na pique pa na baruma ati, rising always in divine excellence with my art every day, all day, every day, all day. We're here at the Museum of the National Center of Artists, Afro-American Artists, 300 Walnut Ave, for the Helical Rising, Ubin Supta, Supta Cyrus Rising. I'm here with our great Queen Mother Goddess, Asma Tefnut, Joy Allen, Comic Dynasty. What are we on today?
Comic Dynasty.
Comic Dynasty, that's right. Y'all better tune in. The Comic Dynasty, we're here on the museum grounds celebrating the Ubin Supta, Supta Cyrus Rising. Today is Neferu Renpet. Neferu means happy or divine, and Renpet means New Year's. This is New Year's Day. So our New Year's is on July the 1st. That's Hellenistic. That's slavery time. If you celebrate New Year's on January the 1st, just put chains on your neck, around your brain, and just jump in a ditch because you've already gone. We celebrate Renpet, the ancient Egyptian New Year's, when the sun and the star rises together in the eastern horizon on the Nilotic meridian, 30 longitude, 30 latitude, north, south, east, west, vertical line of the Merkul, the Great Pyramid. Now, when the sun and the star rise, this is the only time that you ever see a star in the sky when you see the sun. There's only one time. That is when the sun rises. Just before, as soon as it rises, you can see the star next to it, because all the other stars have faded out because the light has faded them out. And this star something is visible for like 10, 15 minutes. And then, of course, the sun's rising, and of course, something fades out. But when the sun and the stars visible at the same time, it indicates mathematically and scientifically that our sun, our Earth, has made one complete revolution around the sun. I got Barry up there. That's good, Barry. Barry can talk to me. I'm doing three. We did 3 interviews. I'm doing multiple interviews at one time right now. They're getting ready to bring me back on stage again. I just want to make sure I spend my respect here on the Queen Mother Goddess, Asma Tefnut, Joy Allen, on the Comic Dynasty, and everyone else is on there. And I want to let you know we're celebrating something Cyrus Rising. We want you to take down the Gregorian calendar from your wall, okay? Before the Romans and the Greeks, there were 9 days in every week. And time was kept by charting stars that were visible on our calendar, aware of the movement of the earth, stars, and moon. These ancient African indigenous primordial ancestral peoples were cosmically attuned. I am honored to be on your show, Queen Mother Goddess, as always. And to the family, to the Ramesh, Happy New Year's to you all. Ubin Supta, Supta Cyrus Rising, this is the helical rising today. Wake up, get your cosmic Naga swagger on. Tune in to Joy Allen, Asma Tefnut on Comic Dynasty, and we'll see you soon. She's broadcasting live, so we're still here with you. Atumra Hotel.
Atumra Hotel.
Aminra.
All right. So apologies if you all would continue. That'd be excellent and great and divine greatness.
He was telling us about what we should be eating, because that is important.
Yeah, I saw that in the comments, so it was timely with Patah sitting down here. I was like, oh, I can use these comments. So yes, speak to us about oh, right quick, Tech, if you did not know, the when we were on Dune movie review part 1, we spoke about the soap berries and the eating and the not using the refrigerator and the microwave. All right. That knowledge, that's her right here, Marcia Owens Harris. So while y'all speaking about food, if it's something you want to know, talk about the Berkey and that fake orange juice, Marcia. Tech had a lot of questions. It's not a lot, but he had some things. He was like, oh, I didn't know that. So yes, Tech, that's her right there. That's the matriarch right there.
Yeah, I'm still learning, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? I'm still learning. I've been vegan for about 3 years. So that's
okay.
Compared to a lot of y'all, I'm still a baby on that level.
So,
you know what I'm saying?
I think I look at the United States. I told you this is the testing center for everything wrong. I noticed they feed people here like slop, basically. And I researched a study that said over 65% of the Americans are morbidly obese. We're not talking about regular 200, 300 pounds. We talking 400 to 600, even up to 1,000 pounds. They call that super morbidly obese. And that's by design. They give us these foods that our bodies can't get rid of the toxins. And so we just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's like a cash cow to them, because when you're overweight, you have many medical conditions and you're
Right.
going to forever be on prescription drugs.
Right.
Who you showing us? Spice Melange? Oh, what would be our spice melange on this planet?
Melanin. Melanin.
Okay.
Melanin. That's where they got the word from. It's MELANGE. So the mela, that's Greek for black.
Okay. So when I see people think you're fat shaming them, but I don't see people as obese. I see people as a walking health condition. You got heart disease, you got diabetes, you got chronic inflammation. It hurt to get out the bed. Your bowels is all stuck up. Your colon in collapse. You a perfect candidate for every cancer that they didn't came out with. But they don't see that. And then they're promoting this big and beautiful and you look sexy. And I'm like, how does heart disease and diabetes look sexy? I'm confused. So I'm not trying to fat shame you, but I'm trying to say you gonna die early and your family not gonna have you around, but you think it's okay to be 300, 600, 900 pounds and you can't even tie your shoes. You can't fix your food. It ain't even food they fixing you. You eating 4 dozen of eggs and 3 packages of bacon and grits and drinking a carton of milk and that fake orange juice.
Oh God.
How is your body gonna get rid of any of that? And me personally, I wouldn't want to be the one who have to wash you up, because that's not gonna work for me. I'm not clean enough that I might as well go to the zoo and work with the elephants. So we allow the United States to trick us with these pretty poisons. I go shopping for other people and I go in the grocery store and I'll see a shopping cart, especially around the first of the month. That first week, when everybody done got their link card, I see a whole shopping cart and I be wanting to flip it over. I just be wanting to flip the cart over. I'm like, I ain't got that kind of bond money this week, but I be wanting to flip it over. And they got their kids in the car and they got the soda, they got the pizzas, they got all the canned goods, they got all the snacks and a case of water. I'm like, you leave the water here. Why don't you just get a 10-pound bag of sugar and a spoon?
Oh God.
Shit, that make no sense to me. Just get a bag of sugar and a spoon. They call it comfort food. What that sugar does is trigger stuff in your brain. And when it triggers, it's like a pinball effect. And your brain wants more. Go ahead, Joy.
Gratitude. Right quick, we have Mother Matriarch Selima Ellis joining us again. And we were looking forward to hearing more what you were saying. What happened was we were on our way here. And I realized we wasn't gonna get here till 2 o'clock, after 2, and so I went live on my cell phone. When I got my desktop, my laptop set up, I signed myself out of the cell phone, and it ended the broadcast because I was the host in the cell phone. So at the time when it went out, Mother Matriarch Selima Ellis was speaking, and I would ask that if you would continue that. Tech, I think, had a question in regards to what you were saying. I'm muting my mic right now. Peace out.
Yeah, you were. How you doing, Selima? And real quick, Marcia. Oh God, we gotta continue talking because that's very. Can you hear me, Marcia?
Marcia.
Can you hear me? Oh, I want to tell you real quick before we continue our conversation with me and Selima. Thank you for that information. We got to continue talking because I'm learning with just everything saying. I'm learning too. I'm still a student too, and I want to know more about what you're talking about, and I want to know more about your testimony. You know what I'm saying? Because I be at Walmart and God damn it, I see the same thing. Meat, got sugar. I'm sorry, cereal, Cocoa Puffs, 1 case of water, soda. Oh my God. The devil, we call that the devil's diet, and seriously, it's not funny. It actually hurts my feelings to see that. And the health food section is fucking full. It's a little section, but the whole grocery section is full of just man. So I don't want to get too. I don't want to get off into that. I'm very passionate about that. So I don't like. It hurts my feelings to see that. I don't like seeing things like that. Long story short. So we definitely gotta continue that before you get out of here, so that I can learn too, and we can all learn and all that. Salim, I had a question. Without a question, but I wanted you not a question. I want you to continue building on something that I missed because she asked the question, um, why was the divine feminine so important in the movie? And I was talking about Shani, but you were on point because you were talking about the Bene Gesserit. You remember that?
Yes.
Yeah. So
So
could you continue that?
yes. So what
Okay.
I was saying was that the liaison between Paul's mother and his father created the weirding mechanism. Because the Bene Gesserit witches, when they spoke to you a certain way, they could control you.
Yeah, the voice.
So what they did was create this module called the weirding device, where they couldn't control you physically, but they could jack you up. They could break bones. They could even kill you internally. And that was because what they had learned from Paul's mother as a Bene Gesserit witch. See,
Exactly.
nobody had that connection and that's why they had destroyed all those modules because they knew if they had had them in time of the Harkonnen invasion, the Harkonnens wouldn't have stood a chance against them. So they had to destroy all of them so that the Harkonnens could win that invasion because Paul was going to take it to the next level. But
Right.
because of that divine feminine of the Bene Gesserit's ability to use vibrational frequency with the voice to control certain people, um, they were able to make this device that in the end helped them win the war, the intergalactic war, because they not only beat the Harkonnens, they beat the Emperor. Not only did they uplift Dune, they uplift their own planet Arrakis.
Right.
So that divine energy, boy, Jessica wasn't no joke because, like you said, when they were in the cave and they tried to split Jessica and Paul up, Jessica grabbed the leader. He couldn't even move. Jessica clamped him down like, if you touch my child, I'm gonna kill all of y'all in this cave.
Right.
That's how dangerous she was, and that's why Stilgar had said, "You're very powerful. If you could do this to the most capable of us, imagine what we could do if you taught us this fighting skill." So it was the divine feminine's fighting skill that uplifted all of these other realms.
Exactly.
Right. So
And
that's that
I want.
energy that, and yes, her daughter Alia was off the chain, but Jessica in herself was a queen to behold. She was no joke on neither side of the board because even though she had broke the rules and had Paul, despite what the grandmother had told her to have a daughter. But Jessica wasn't going to marry no daughter to those Harkonnens. She had Paul.
Exactly.
And the Grand Witch still couldn't kill her or Paul outright because she got the feeling that she wasn't going to be able to control Paul. Paul was his mother's pawn. You couldn't mess with Paul mentally because Jessica had been training him just that much. So that divine feminine, not only was she a brilliant chess player in that movie, she was the one that was teaching everybody to buck up. Y'all, everybody about to fight. Everybody about to take it to the Harkonnens, and that was her teaching of that Bene Gesserit voice, mixing it with the technology to make that weirding device.
And I wanted to say this one thing that did you notice that? Guess what? That device. Listen, the men had to wear that. The women they had the voice by nature. That was for the men because they couldn't tap. The only man that could tap that had the voice was Paul. The other men did not have the voice. That's why they had to use that thing. It was the women. They can utter that tone very naturally. And I want you to what you should definitely check out Raised by Wolves. That's a sci-fi show, but it gets into all the power of the tone. Check that out.
I never saw that. I will have to check that out. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
good one. It gets all into the power of the tone. Long story short, a character in the show, when she activates, first of all, her skin turns black. Her skin turns black. When she starts flying, her skin turns black. And then when she utters a tone, she goes, ah! Everything dissipates. You gotta check that out. A flying
Right.
black goddess. They're dropping it right by the page. You gotta go check that out. We should talk about it later on a later show. But it's called Raised by Wolves.
Raised by wolves.
Yeah,
Okay.
Raised by Wolves. Just watch probably the first 2 episodes. That's all you need. You don't gotta binge watch it. But that was
Okay.
excellent. You need to watch. Have you seen the new trailer to the new one?
To the new Dune?
Yes.
No, I really wasn't interested in it because it was
Listen, go ahead.
still like an epic white, you know. I probably felt like they were going to put maybe a little bit more in there, information like from the book that didn't make it into the movie, but it seemed like it was still going to be,
Okay, fair enough. One thing that I did notice, one thing I did notice, they didn't tell the story of Shiny that much in the original. Remember Shiny, his wife Dune. Remember, it's actually a story. Listen, it's actually a story about her. That's her planet. That's her people. You know what I'm saying? And remember the Harkonnen before House Atreides took on that contract. The Harkonnen were ruling that planet, and they were ruling it. They were like Nazis on that mother. They was like Nazis down there because spice was so just valuable. So when the Harkonnens were ruling the planet, it was so brutal. But they didn't tell you that in the movie. So I was watching the trailer of the new one. They're gonna get into that pre-House Atreides rulership when the Harkonnen were down there, and so you can understand why Chani and the Fremen, why they hate them so much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, that's what's in the book that they didn't put in the last time.
Peace, everyone. Peace. I have joining me Siba Kwame, Amin, Minra Kimbro, and Ramutef has also been here as well. So I'm about to leave right quick. I'm gonna leave the camera, but I would like for Siba Kwame. Actually, we had a broadcast, the land livelihood. Siba Kwame is the one who was coming in the room, but Ramutef Webb was speaking. So actually everyone he's gonna introduce himself. Ramutef's gonna come on, and I would then like for Ramutef and Tech to continue the Dune Part 2 movie review. Again, everyone, welcome to the Renpet New Year's celebration. I appreciate you all being here and managing with us. Dua.
Greetings. I'm Kwame. I'm in Minra Kimbro. I'm a global distributor of the Rosarian Solar Lunar Sidereal Calendar, and I would like to say to all the Hemets, Sibas, and Sibats, Hanata, Pupa Ma'at, Unkwastajed, Uncle Ujastanir, Ubin, Nife Kepana, Bu Haru Ma'at, rising always, divine excellence with Ma'at every day, all day. Atum Ra, Pato. All right, let's get to it. I appreciate everybody being here. I'm taking over for a little while. Let's get started. So, where would everyone like to start at?
I would love
When it comes to the
I would love to start with what Salim was building with, or it don't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
continue.
Go ahead. This ain't happening. This ain't real.
Was that in one of the scenes, the head Bene Gesserit was confronting Paul, and he had told her, "Don't try to use your voice on me. Go to that dark place you women fear to tread to go." But in reality, they put that out. That's really a misnomer. Really, the dark spaces is where we always tread.
Right.
So that was a misnomer. That the dark spaces are our spaces. That's where our families often find the peace when the home is dim. It might be candlelight burning. It might just be the evening sun setting coming through the window. So, and we can go darker than that. And I don't mean dark in the sense that's evil or fighting. It's a sort of bliss. It's a darkness where you transcend inner and outer space. That's what
Right.
Paul had done when he had consumed the spice and he was laying there in a sort of frozen state. Well, that's our space. So they had to put that misnomer out to us, the divine feminine, so that we wouldn't venture into those spaces because I
Exactly.
find myself in those spaces often. And those are the places where often people can't go with you on your journey of enlightenment, enlightenment, whatever you want to call it. That space is for us. We help originate that space. That's where the children come from. So that was sort of a misnomer that he put out that the divine feminine could not dwell within that space
Oh God.
because really it was still a patriarchal European system, and they were probably hoarding the spice, making sure that space was for them, and that we couldn't dwell in that space. If you pay attention to the movie, you always see the men eating the spice. I never saw the women consuming the spice, only the water of life from the worms.
Mm, that's a
That's
good
what
point.
I saw women consuming the water of life to become Bene Gesserits. The women were consuming the water from the worms. The men were eating the spice.
Right.
So if you get a chance, check that out and see how that patriarchy role played with that.
I look. Listen. That's one thing I noticed. I noticed that again. That galactic imperium. That was still patriarchy. And then when you look at genetic memory, okay, they were saying that the feminine couldn't tap into the masculine, which made no sense because the feminine are ones who create the masculine. So there you go again, kind of demonizing that feminine. That didn't make no sense. But again, I understood what they're coming from that Roman Catholic Church. That's why Paul was so important because he can tap into both feminine and masculine power. You know what I'm saying? But you brought up a good point. If the masculine were hoarding spice in the movie and keeping away from the feminine, that means they were aware. That means they were aware of the supremacy of feminine power in the universe.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. They were because if you watch
You
the
go
movie,
outside.
men eat the spice, and the feminine were only drinking the water from the worms. They weren't. I never saw feminine lips touch spice. I only saw males eating the spice in the movie.
But I want to give this good brother Ramutef a chance to put in his little input about the movie. How you doing, good brother?
Greetings and salutations, patriarch.
I got this stick.
Yeah, hear me?
Yeah, yeah, we can hear you now.
Yeah.
Okay, good, good, good. All right. From the top of my everyone. Um, from my own perspective, when looking into this movie, right? Um, there's a lot of things that's been missing when it comes to the certain type of prophecies that people have been given. Do I see what do I? When it comes to dealing with the merger of certain things, like the whole reason with the substance, right? We all understand that it's all about the connecting everything to melody. We all know that part.
Right, right.
So when it comes to what's going on currently today, like how I always envision movies, I look to see what they have and see what truth that they're giving us today. Every
Me too.
movie that they have when it comes to dealing with that divine law, it's they have to tell us the truth. So when you look at the whole
Exactly.
movie going through, right? For me, I start to add different elements to it. But the whole when you said something about the I had to look back on what I was saying, but I gotta go back on that first video. But you said something specifically when it comes to dealing with the people. We're talking about the people with the blue eyes and things of that nature. Because for me, I haven't seen that movie in a long time. You know, because I was born during the time that movie came out, basically. I have bits and pieces of my memory when it comes to dealing with that. And then there were certain things that you were saying that was just like, oh man, I remember this because I seen it when I was a kid, and I haven't seen it again until I want to say I think I was like 14, and then after that I haven't seen it since then. Just to see that movie coming out, was it next month? I think, right?
October.
Is it October?
Yep.
I'm trying to adjust this music and all this sound back here, but in all retrospect, when it comes to what we do currently today, when it comes to these takeovers that's happening down in the islands currently, right? There's always something going on. When it comes to that same type of scenario about going to a different planet that has this a very deep resource. We'll take Haiti for example, right? Haiti's going through that whole transition right now. And then on top of that, if you add the elements, Chronicles of Riddick, you understand that if you take the leader down, you keep what you kill type thing. So that's the type of story that I've been seeing going through like in a repeating process. But when it comes to the certain topics, I'm still kind of lost because I've been all over the place. So excuse me being in my presence, or excuse myself from being in your presence, because I'm definitely trying to catch up to what everyone's talking about. But it's definitely hard for me to catch up because we got all this going on right now.
No, it's all good, brother. We chilling. It's all good, brother. You're doing a good job.
But yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm saying you're doing a great job, brother.
Yeah, give me a second. But yeah, so at the end of the day, we as a people gotta see what's really going on. Understanding like from a level, I'll go to this far. I'll go as far as that, as far as this. So understanding that each one of these semets that's out here, right, dealing with the feminine, right. When I'm sitting there studying within the Kabbalah, I understand that each one of us have this unique system. So when it's dealing with the Hemets, right. So far from my studies, when we dealing, we'll say with the Kabbalah, we're dealing with the whole tree, dealing from Keith, they're going down, right. So if a person wants to introduce that type of concept into this conversation, we're talking about that. Feminine, every one of the feminine have this sequence where it's 10 and 1. When I end up incorporating astrology into that nature, we understand that every feminine's first house is dealing with either 10, which is basically representing the earth, and then the crown dealing with the keeper. So when it comes to the reason why they start doing all this manufacturing and things of that nature, like for melanin, for example, or melatonin, for example, from my own personal belief, and it could be true, it could be not. The reason why they be kidnapping these women is for the same reason why they do when it comes to representation of the material. I can't think of the name of the stuff again. Of the thing that's represent melanin in the movie. I can't remember the name of it.
Spiceful Line.
Yeah, Spiceful Line. Thank you. Oh, what happened? Well, that's me. Where'd he go? Where'd he go?
Before I got bad connection and blinked out.
Okay. But yeah, so as I was looking into that, there we go. So when I was looking into that, I noticed that
You good? I was
like the more that I started to see how well that they're trying to put these many truths into our lives, and we're really getting deceived in a lot of areas. Like right now, we're having this great celebration, but not a lot of people are still in this mindset because there's so many attacks going on. So many. Us here in America, we're over here just like literally trying to figure out what the hell are they doing? Why they keep kidnapping? Why they keep inserting these type of individuals within our nature, right? Moving forward, when it comes to the movie, we have to like literally sit down and watch like bits and pieces of it.
He having technical issues, so I
Oh, okay,
kicked him.
okay,
He'll
okay,
come back.
okay. But yeah, but as far as that movie goes, there's a lot. There's just a lot, and it's like as you start to talk, or those start talking about moments. For me personally, it's going to start clicking in my mind. It's literally going to be like, oh, I remember that, and I'm going to get right to it. Go right there.
They're saying it's
Oh,
hard
most
to hear you from the background noise, so you might have to speak a little louder.
All right, what about now? What about now?
Kita, is that better?
Yes.
I can hear you fine.
I can hear him.
All right, what about now? Is this better?
You know what? Multitasking.
But yeah,
Over there.
well, I'm just trying to help out. All right. But yeah, as far as going through the movie itself, I'm the type of person is you start talking about it, it's going to start jogging my memory because it's been a long time since I watched that movie.
Gotta check it
But
out.
I know certain things when it comes to certain key points that happen within there. I'm definitely can definitely speak on that.
I think the main universal principle is that whole spice melange, and I would love Salima to talk about that. But I think the that main universal principle on why this movie is dealing with us is that whole spice melange because it's giving them cosmic consciousness. Okay, the star pilots again. I mentioned it last week, but they they got rid of all the computers. Long story short, without getting into the whole Dune history, but they got rid of the computers. There was a whole revolution, and they destroyed all the machines. Long story short, so how are they going to do those intergalactic computations? They had to absorb spice melange. So the starship pilots they absorbed so much spice melange that it physically mutated them, but it allowed them ability to make those intergalactic calculations and to fold space using their mind because of that spice melange, aka melanin.
Right. And the spice melange also gave them the ability to see into the future
Saying right,
because they knew Paul was coming. They asked the emperor to kill Paul.
exactly.
And they said his father, and he said, no, I want you to get rid of Paul because he knew they knew Paul was about to put an embargo on the spice, which is about time where our people should be doing right about now. We should be putting an embargo on ourselves
Mm,
because our people need to understand we can do the movie we do, but we have to help them understand that it relates to us in this real time. It, this is the time for the embargo of the spice, and you are the spice.
right.
You are the spice. You're giving too many people access to our communities, to our culture. And I'm seeing too many mimickers. I call them mimickers because when you turn on the television, when you turn on, when you watch movies, everywhere these contestant shows, cooking shows, all these other things, these people are mimicking everything we do, how we cook, how we dance, how we sing. It's time to put an embargo on the spice. And you won't understand that if you don't get that you're the spice. So you need to put the embargo. It's time to put an embargo on the spice, and you are the spice. That's why they came to the emperor and said, "Look, we're gonna kill you if you don't get it together," because they stopped the spice. So on this planet, we are the spice. Everything we do is spicy. They mimic it. They mimic
Mm,
it. That's why I had just put. I was watching on Facebook before I could get back on the live. That look up the word soul in the Webster's Dictionary, 1973, Webster's Collegiate Dictionary. And when you see soul, the definition, times they mention us, even though it's in a derogatory term such as Negroid or Negroid or Negro, whenever they mention the very definition of soul is our people. So you are the spice. So it's time to put an embargo on the spice. Yeah.
That was deep. You said put an embargo on it.
It's time to put an embargo. It's time for us to stop going to see, Master. Look what we did. Look what we built. Look what we got. Look what we learned. Look what we know. Ain't no more sharing. It's time for the embargo. The spice. You are the spice, and until our people understand that they are the spice in which this realm even moves, this bullcrap gonna keep happening. But you realize it's time to put an embargo on spice as far as other cultures are concerned, especially when we're dealing with these foreigners called Cameroons or white people or whatever you want to call them. It's time to put an embargo on our connection with those beings because we are the spice upon which they grow, which they feed themselves. Whether you call it adrenochrome, melatonin, melanin, I don't care whatever it is happening on this planet is because of us. And when you want this to stop, you will put an embargo on you because you are the spice. You are the spice melange of this planet.
Perfectly said. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
That was well
yeah,
said. Yeah, you
yeah.
on point. Yeah, you on point.
And those are the things we need to understand. Like you said, they have to tell the truth. I was listening to you the other day, when you said they have to tell the truth. And
Ah,
when you
right.
these movies, but we have to learn to read between the lines of what they're saying and put the pattern together, put the whole puzzle. And that's the puzzle that they're going to say you're this. Like they tried to say we're the Fremen, we're the enslaved.
Right.
Okay, but your eyes are blue. You see
Mm-hmm.
what I'm giving you so many contradictories of certain truths that you have to learn to put it together because
Right.
really
And
it's the mind that enslaved those who were
We can't hear you. Mother Matriarch Selena Ellis is speaking.
Is this still about the wet pit?
Yeah,
Right now.
but they can't. They
They
really
can't hear
can't
us?
hear us at times because of the sound.
I don't know if anybody can hear me.
I can hear you.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, the Fremen, the symbology of the Fremen were just those who were enslaved mentally.
Okay.
Yeah, that's our people. And once you realize you're not a slave, that you are the spice melange, now you about to, yeah, now some stuff about to manifest that you wouldn't even thought was going to manifest.
Exactly. Exactly. And like like I was saying earlier, yeah, I deal with galactic law. They have to tell the truth, and they have. You know what? He has been telling you the truth, right? We just not have been paying attention. And
That's
listen,
right.
they've been dropping the truth in all these science fiction movies. And if you understand something, when I was growing up, when I was my secret when I was growing up was no, not that I'm gay. I'm not gay. That's not my secret. My secret was I watched science fiction movies because it was kind of looked at as uncool a little bit, especially when you grew up in the streets. Everybody watching Friday, you know what I'm saying? But I was watching Star Trek. You see what I'm saying? So, but I was noticing now you got this whole thing about the Galactic Federation. If you look at the article, some Israeli official came out talking about there is a Star Nation and there is a Galactic Federation. But I already knew that because I saw Star Trek and they get into all that. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I tell black people we need to start watching science fiction. And you know what? you'll be surprised. A lot of the black so-called black women, you guys have already been watching this. You guys been watching a lot of this stuff. We
Right.
as men are behind. We're slow. We the sons, you the mother. So we a little slow.
That's all right. This is our time to get together and catch up and make it happen. This is the
Right. So
catch up.
right, exactly. This is summer school. Summer
Yes,
school. Summer school. Remember you when you fail, you gotta come back in the summer.
that's right. That's right. You had to come back. If I see the seductress back there,
Oh yeah, I like that.
my, oh, it's the seductress back there working it. So yeah, but I also I can't wait to get with you also, young blood, about when we can get together and watch or preview the Jupiter Ascending.
Oh God. Well, stop right there. Stop right there. Stop right there. Oh God. That's so relevant too, right? Oh, understand something. We are we are that gets very deep, man. We are not just descendants of kings and queens that rule little tiny ass land masses. We are descendants of it's called system lords or a star lord, meaning ancient Kemetic black alien humanoids who have control over entire star systems. Okay, so you're talking about a level of royal abundance you cannot comprehend right now. To be honest, you just can't comprehend it. Jupiter ascending gets into that. Oh God, you got to watch that. Jupiter. Long story short, it's some white girl, and she works as a janitor. You know what I'm saying? And she is. Long story short, you gotta go watch the movie. But she ends up finding out that she is a reincarnation of a galactic queen, and she's going to be inheriting an entire planet. I gotta check that out, and that's what's going on, and that's what's going on with us. Once you get out of the Earth realm, a lot of us are star lords and princes in training. We're going to be our family rules millions of planets that need governorship. A lot of lower beings. We are the highest beings in the universe. It is what it is. There's a lot of lower beings whose planets need to be oversought and governed by us. You know what I'm saying? The Neteru descendant. So a lot of us who are incarnated on Earth right now, after you leave this world, you're going to be asked to do another assignment, but this time as a lord to assume lordship over whatever planet. Like for example, let me give an example. There's a planet where it's mostly it's a mixture planet of humanoid animal type beings who have intelligence. Their last ruler was a female. It was like a female Egyptian goddess, but I don't want to get to what happened. But she disappeared for whatever reason. She went to a Stargate and left them for whatever reason. So now that planet needs rulership. So that they're by us because they look at that's why animals love us because that gets deeper into why animals love us because the animals know they recognize divinity royalty. Long story short, so Jupiter Ascending opens up a whole nother level of awareness. You know what I'm saying? She wakes. Could you? And that's what's going on with a lot of y'all. A lot of it's the same thing. A lot of you guys are queens. You know what I'm saying? Our family, again, we are the Galactic Federation of Unk. You know what I'm saying? Of life. That's us. Pi Netru with the ancestors. We rule this entire universe. That's how deep that gets. So you have a level of royal inheritance that you will be receiving very soon. And that gets into that movie Jupiter Ascending. And that movie, it's the same shit going on. That shit. Her family, okay, in that movie, her family, her galactic family, they were harvesting planets because guess what? Like I said earlier, the most important resource is not gold, it's not crystals, it's not money, it's everlasting life. So in Jupiter Ascending, it's the same thing that's going on in Dune. There was an empire in the movie Jupiter Ascending. There's an empire. The empire gives houses contracts to mine certain things. And in the movie Jupiter Ascending, her house was given the contract. It's deep, but her empire was given the contract to mine Earth, to mine the humans of a substance called Gen X. that allows them, that allows the universe, people, citizens of the universe, to have everlasting life. The reason why she was killed because she said, you know what, fuck that. We're not doing that no more. So she got killed. But then she reincarnated as some white girl on Earth. So now she's going through the whole thing again to try to dismantle this whole wicked business, this quadrillion-dollar business of human harvesting that's going on Earth. Y'all gotta check that out. That's a good one.
Yeah, I would like to speak on that because to me it does tie in
Oh,
to the Dune because
yes,
they weren't just like harvesting like the plants, like you said, they were harvesting the people.
the people.
So this ties into what they're doing today with this COVID because now, um, oh man, I wish I'd been a little bit more careful with that, but it's the time of harvest. They're harvesting the people. Think about how many don't, when people want to come in and say don't take the jab, 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 but you got to think it's our time of harvest. So when you think about in that movie that they were harvesting the people, that's what this time is. This is their time of harvest. This harvest is time for the harvest. Because when you see these people, you know that they don't feel good. You can see them. Look at them. Look at these beings. Look at these beings that you vote for, that you let educate your children, that are doing all this weird stuff, covering up the sun, uh, GMOs. I mean, just it's unnatural. So now that they've done all this science stuff, CRISPR, I mean, you name it, they've done everything morally against natural law to create all this stuff, but you still have to harvest the spice, which is us.
Right.
Because otherwise, what is this harvest? Why are they
Pleasure and honor to be here and have your attention for the short time.
it ties in that Jupiter ascending ties into the harvesting that's going on today.
Exactly. That
If you
and they
don't
ran.
catch, you gotta watch Jupiter ascending because they were harvesting the people. Because the brother had asked the sister, "Have you ever seen a harvest?" And she said, "Oh no, but I heard they're quite humane." And I'm like, "What?" But this is
Okay.
humane. If you sign up for it to be treated humanely, they're going to treat you humanely. That's why dogs go to the Humane Society.
Mm, that's a
I'm
good
just
point.
saying some stuff we don't think about sometimes. So yeah.
And yeah, so the harvest that ties into what's going on now. Now, real quick, we gotta get galactic right quick. That's why we got to be off the planet after the year 2033. I'm sorry, 2043. Because what happened is there's, without getting too deep, there's a lot of treaties, intergalactic treaties that prevent beings from coming out here and harvesting the planet. But those treaties expire. Okay, so that's why a lot of us are getting ringtones because our galactic family are coming to lift us out of here before all that happens. The reason why the Adamites were created, they were created as a food source, so they get harvested. So they get taken to Alaska and they get taken up by the reptilian overlords. Any so-called Pleiadians that are being glorified. I'm not sure if you guys keep up to date with galactic information, but they're glorifying these Pleiadians, making them look like Barbie dolls. Well, and I have to admit, the Pleiadians are very beautiful. They're beautified white folks, but they come from another star system. But they're not agreeable or good. They're evil because what they're doing is they are the overseers of the Adamites or European or Caucasians because the Dracos were eating the Pleiadians, and the Pleiadians say, you know what? They increased in their consciousness on their planet. They say, you know what? We're getting tired of this. How about this? How about we go down to Earth and we make another type of human, mankind, and you can harvest them and eat them. But they had to come to us, you know what I'm saying, for the genetic knowledge and information in order to create another type of humanoid or mankind, you know what I'm saying, kind of man. You know what I'm saying? So these Adamites, Caucasian Europeans, they are getting harvested by the Dracos. And so are you low vibrational niggas. That's why it's important. That's another thing too, why they want you to be on low vibration. Because long story short, the Dracos they feed on lower vibrational beings. That's why they don't fuck with us because they feed on lower vibrational. And that ties to food. What she's saying, what Marcia is saying about your food. If you do not put yourself on the menu, if you're eating bad food, you're putting yourself on the menu. If you're eating alcohol, you're putting yourself on the menu because you're lowering your vibration to their level, and you open yourself up to being harvested. Long story short, so that's why to me when I watched that movie and you're talking about harvesting, that immediately and another good movie after that is Tomorrow War. Tomorrow War. A lot of the priests and priestesses within these Kemetic orders, they say, yeah, Tomorrow War is what's going to happen. That was a very dark, very apocalyptic. That just came out too. Long story short, these beings, these aliens, they're like animalistic. They was eating everything. They invaded the planet and they were eating everything, and humanity got wiped out. Long story short, until they had to go back and listen. They had to go back in time to make another timeline in which humanity do not get wiped out. That's how apocalyptic that movie was. Long story short, so check that one out too. It's called Tomorrow War, and it shows you what a harvest really is. It's beings coming down here and eating you. Long story short, I don't mean to spook you out. Don't get spooked out. This ain't got nothing to do with you. This ain't got nothing to do with us. We are the divine royal children of the Neteru. You know what I'm saying? Our ancestors have divine love for us. They would never allow that to happen to you, nigga. Please. So that has to deal with them and low vibrational dudes. So I want to say that 'cause I don't like scaring people. People may not have the same level of understanding, so they might get spooked out. So I want to say that to clear it up that had nothing to do with you. That's why it's important. Going back to what Marcia said, to keep your vibration up and eat right, so that you can take yourself off the menu. The Dracos, they like humanoids. They like humans who eating meat because it's a type of season. Alcohol is a type of when you're dealing with intergalactic races and the food they eat. So so seasoning to them is like alcohol, meat, like sugar. That you seasoning yourself. Okay, now the worst way to leave your body as a incarnated soul is to be eaten alive by a goddamn Draco. Without getting what I'm saying, without getting too spaced out. So take yourself off the menu. That's why you gotta eat good, and you won't deal with the harvest. Long story short.
Shit, now harvest in a sense, to be real, for real. All right, so that's the reason why I got into understanding dealing with times, because that Gregorian calendar or whatever Greco-Roman calendar you want to call it, everything dealing with their seasons, it goes towards that stuff. Like I always tell people, um, out of all these 12 months on this Gregorian calendar that we follow, what month doesn't have a holiday?
Mm.
And then usually people will say, "Oh, September, this, that, and the third." As soon as you say anything but August, that's when I know they got you. Because that stuff is very deep. Everything you just said between the two of y'all, that's how far it goes when it comes to the frequencies in our bodies, things of that nature, and as well as the them putting these different type of chemicals or what you want to call it to manifest within our DNA to give the right type of vibration for them to consume us. There's a certain vibration that we all are rising on, and as this today learning about different aspects of time, different aspects of our cultures, starting to get into different levels in our consciousness. That consciousness is literally revamping our DNA right before everybody's eyes. Understanding that we've been going through this what they call it a metamorphosis, right? The best way I've been explaining to people is just going through these processes of going from your human self to your higher self, and understand the role that you play when it goes to these next few generations before us. That was deep. I appreciate you saying that for the romantic for that that right there is the goal for a lot of them. And then once we started doing draconians and the Palladians and things of that nature, understanding that most of us, well, not most of us, but majority of us here is like how you call it, Syrians, coming from Sirius.
There you go.
With us going into the calendar and things of that nature and dealing with the Rampet. That's why the Rampet, from when I figured it out, I said, yo, this is a huge significance with this Rampet. So astrologically, right? We're talking about two suns, right? You have the sun we call Ra and Cyrus. At this present time, those two suns is in the sky, side by side. They're going to do this between 72 days, going from the sign of Cancer all the way to the sign of um, what they call Virgo. Those three constellations have a very specific thing for us in this period of time in this age. And then with us seeing all these things, right? When it comes dealing with that movie, I gotta now you're gonna make me have to just sit down and watch it before I leave it tonight, just so I can get a full understanding instead of having people reminding me in certain parts, so I can just tap right in. But yeah, I'm gonna end it for right now because it's getting louder out here.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say something, but I forgot.
Could you speak more on the worms, the big worms?
The worms. Well, you know what? Actually, real quick, I remember what I was gonna say. I saw a comment. Somebody talking about super gel and the Pleiadians. So whoever dropped that comment, yes, those two white twins, those are Pleiadians, and they show you in the cartoons. That's why our kids are so intelligent and so smart, because a lot of the information they're dropping in cartoons. And you said you want to talk about the worms. You talking about of Dune?
Yes.
Of Dune? The
Yes.
worms, the worms, the worms. They're
The
the ones that
big
created the
boy.
spice. Yeah, they're
Yes.
the ones. So they're the ones. It's interesting. What That's interesting because that gets into the whole Kundalini thing. From how I look at it, that that snake, in ancient Kemet Tamaray, that snake represents that Kundalini rising. You know what I'm saying? You have to conquer that. So in the movie, in order for you to get accepted as a member as a leader, you have to ride them. That was wild. And they also were the ones that created Spice Melange. I think do their vomit. It was either, no. I'm sorry. They created the water of life. When their body rotted, that created because they were they lived underground. So when their body rotted, or when the body decayed, combined with water and combined with the heat and the pressure of the planet, that created the spice. So actually, the worms were the source of the spice. You know what I'm saying? And again, if you connect it to this world, a worm is nothing but a snake or a cobra, or that enlightenment. You know what I'm saying? You got to conquer that in order to unlock all the stargates, chakras, what we call them auto shets. You got to unlock all that and get to that Heru or that Christ consciousness. You know what I'm saying? That's how I looked at it.
Right. It was. Just the fact that they were the creation of the spice and they protected the spice was wild because they were violent in their protection of the spice mines. They were destroying whole ships, whole vessels to protect or keep the spice from being mined, and that they moved on vibration. That was what made them kind of out cold, like they could just feel you tiptoeing in their territory, and here they come.
Yeah, and they had to get mastered in order. Like I said, in order to be a leader in the tribe, you have to ride them. So they were not playing. The Fremen were not playing. They were some hardcore natives. They were hardcore. But again, the Fremen were us. If you go rewatch the Dune new trailer. She tells you that the Fremen, the reason why they love that planet. They bonded with it. You know what I'm saying? They were breathe. The spice was natural in them because they were breathing it. The spice looked like basically it was like gold little particles. When you watch the trailer, they did a good job of showing you what you could see it. It was like gold flaky trailers. I mean, gold flake sparks. So if you breathe that in, you naturally becoming one with the planet. You know what I'm saying? So that definitely is just like the movie Avatar. That's another good one about having that sacred connection with the planet and with the universe. Um, the Fremen had that same connection with their planet, not just with the spice, but with the planet. Because in the trailer, she's talking about how, we love our planet. We've been here for generations, blah blah blah. And then here comes the empire.
Right, right. I also wanted to touch on the fact that there was not a drop of rain on Iraq for I don't know how many years, but they still had water, and the water also came from the worm. Yeah, they still have water despite the harsh rule of the Harkonnens, because you have to remember, whenever someone got the contract to come and run that planet, run those mines, they brought their own water because Dune was a desert planet. So
Mm.
how were they getting water? Because they had water. They had untold amount of water. So where was the water coming from except for the worms and underground caches that they were explaining to Jessica and Paul when they became part of the tribe.
That's
So
another
those
good
worms,
thing that she brought up.
yeah, those worms were essential to the planet. Like you couldn't even though they were destroying a lot of stuff, you still couldn't destroy the worms, or you weren't going to have what they had.
Right, right.
Because
Can't destroy the
life
worms.
worms and the water came from the worms, and you wasn't having nothing without either one of those, the water or the spice.
Right, and that, you know what, that movie reminded me the importance of water. Because in that world, when you spit on the ground, so in this world, you spit on the ground, you spit in somebody's presence, that's very disrespectful. But in Doom, if you did that, that was a sign of ultimate respect, because water was so it was not abundant. You know what I'm saying? So they worship water. They had a religious respect for water. You know what I'm saying? Because the body is mostly water anyways. So they had they had a religious respect for that, and that kind of reminded me to, even though water is abundant on this world, on other worlds it's not, and you need that to survive in this universe. Because most races in the universe are water based anyways, that are physical.
Right, right, right. And their spitting on the ground was a significance. It was like saying, I would mingle my water with your water, because water, like you just said, was so precious there that that letting go of the spittle on the ground was like a handshake for them, or like saying, I would make you my brother, I would make you my sister. So that was the significance of what Shawnee's father did that day when he was talking to Paul and his father. Yep,
You
that
know
was
what?
Shawnee.
You should go watch. Have you seen the sci-fi mini series they made? They did a remake.
Which remake?
So all right, so they actually did another remake, but they put it on sci-fi. They made a 3-part remake of Dune.
I don't think I saw that. No,
Okay, okay,
I've been
bet.
original movie since it came out. You see, I could almost spout it word for word.
Okay,
I haven't seen anything else because the original just I guess what you could say captured my imagination just that much.
okay. Well,
I
guess
will
what?
check it out, like you said. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, God. Yeah. So they add information. And so, mind you, I'm a lifelong Dune fan. You know what I'm saying? But I can bear witness to the remake they put on Sci-Fi. It gave me better clarity because they added more stuff to it. So I would definitely recommend check that out. They added way. It was more deeper in my opinion, because it was almost 4 hours. And the book is so complex, and the movie did
Yeah.
a great job, but the movie had to only had like 2 hours 30 minutes to put all that information. So the series is almost 4 hours. So they added, it was more beefed up. So it gave me a little bit more clarity about a lot of things that's going on, including like the
Oh,
Emperor's daughter. The Emperor's daughter in the Emperor's daughter in the original barely had any appearance. Right? I don't really have any memory of her in the original, but in the remake, you see she's more of a you see her. She had a heavy influence and a more heavy presence within the storyline. The Emperor's
okay.
daughter.
Okay. I will check that out definitely.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
free. Listen, it's free on YouTube too. Just type in Dune because it came out 20 years ago, so it's free on YouTube. So whenever you get a chance, you can pull up on your phone and watch and check it out. But I personally enjoyed it because it get. I like things that offer more detail. So me personally, I personally enjoyed it.
I think it's
Okay.
seen it when I was looking on I think it was either Netflix or one of those websites because I seen that they had like some kind of um additional dooms on there. Like I think one of them was like rides or something like that, or
Yep.
those are different things.
Yeah. There's a lot of Dune content. Listen, white folks are all over this. Dune is very popular. It is not popular amongst us. This is a very popular. This is a very epic, It's a cult classic. It's just not amongst us as so-called black people. You know what I'm saying? We the ones catching up. We in summer school.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
Yeah, we're in summer school right now.
I'm trying to think what movie I was about to say. A movie. Um, there's another movie. There's like the main ones I look into was anything that got like demonology, like ranging from Constantine, Spawn to The Conjuring. When it comes to sci-fi, it's more so in the lines of understanding anything from Battlestar Galactica, Star Wars, to um, anything that's done with Marvel right now too. So when it comes to what is that movie called? Give me a second. It's gonna come to me. Give me 1 second.
Take your time, brother. Those are all good movies though, that you mentioned. Battlestar Galactica, your artist, Star Wars. They're listen. They are exposing to you guys that Star Wars. That's a whitewashed version of what we're doing in the universe. They're not going to show us doing that. They're going to show themselves assuming they're gonna show themselves assuming our position. You know what I'm saying? This universe is not. This is a universe of stars. Okay, this a little ass star right here that this planet is orbiting. A little baby star. Once you get out to the universe, there are stars out there that make our star look like a dot. All right. So with that being said, this is a melanin universe, meaning if you're going to be a physical being within this universe, you have to have a certain level of melanin. So when you're watching Star Wars, you see all them white people. That's not scientifically factual. You know what I'm saying? It don't make no sense. There are melanin recessive beings in the universe, but they live underground, away from the sun. They're not flying around and shit because they can't. They don't have no physical protection. So Star Wars, Star Trek, oh god, especially Star Trek. Star Trek does a great job about the Galactic Federation. They are talking about us and what we're doing out there. So I try to make that connection because that level of knowledge currently is considered um it is considered the frontier of knowledge because most of us are still in the school of Pan Africanism. A lot of us, most black people who are coming out of Christianity are still in Pan Africanism. So they're still giving reverence to Africa, which as they should, That is a sacred land. So they're not really they haven't really got to the level of themselves being intergalactic Star Lord beings. You know what I'm saying? So that's why usually you have to kind of be patient when you. It's not easy talking about this type of stuff. But again, they're showing the evidence is in putting. They know who we are. We don't know who we are. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right. Um, that like you were saying, we don't know who we are, but in a minute, there's going to be a stop on the repeat of information and knowledge. Like these videos are going to be all that people have of the knowledge that you're giving. Because at some point, you've got to stop putting out videos and make the next jump in your conscious awareness because you're still ahead of a lot of people. Because nobody can, it's impossible for everybody to make the jump at the same time because nobody is going to reach consciousness all at the same time. You're
Right.
going to have some consciousness at one point together. There'll be groups, but it won't be one level playing field because nobody reaches consciousness at the same time. And what I become consciously aware of is not always what you will become consciously aware of. What you become consciously aware of, I might not be consciously aware of. So, and that's where the group comes into so that we can take that next level. You have to be able to put the pieces together. So when we talk about sci-fi movies that really put pieces together, you would watch things not, and you know I love Star Trek and Star Wars. Those I like. I've seen all of them. Just sat back and did a whole marathon of them. But Ender's Game is a good one.
Oh
I don't know if you've
God.
ever the games. It's wild what they were doing to the kids. Like you said, they were using the children to fight the war because they needed a new way of thinking. They needed children to create a new way to destroy things that the adults couldn't think of anymore. So they were using the children. So Ender's Game is a good one. Captive State with John Goodman, where the aliens came and just took over, and the world leaders were living cushy while they were using and abusing us. If you want to know how to put a plot together, watch Captive State with John Goodman. So there are, oh man, it
Stop
is
right
so
there.
many.
Stop right there. Stop right there. I'm glad you brought that up, girl. Stop right there. If you want to know what the F is going on right now on this world, go watch Captain State. That's exactly what's going on. The Dracos are running the planet. They are underground. This planet is ran by Draco Prince, and these motherfuckers are underground running the planet. That movie was so. Oh God, I'm glad. Thank you for reminding me. I'm gonna be telling people to drop to. I'm gonna remind people to watch that. That's what's going on right now. That in that movie. That's what's going on right now.
The Captive State.
Yes. Captain State. These beings are running. These extraterrestrials. They're running the planet underground. And if you go on YouTube, there's a lot of white boys or whistleblowers who are blowing a whistle about what do they call it? Um, DUMBs, deep underground military bases. So yeah, deep underground military base. Yeah. So
I know what you're talking about because it was a guy, him and his friend went down there and they had they guns. He said he don't know what them aliens fired at him, but his friend threw him back in the dumpster so he could shoot back up. Three of his
mhm.
fingers is gone. He said they shot
Yep.
him with some, his fingers came right off.
Right. That white boy,
They was
he
down
got
there
killed.
trying to fight him in the deep
Yeah, they killed him.
underground military. They was trying to go and it didn't work out for him. But luckily, he survived, and he's a whistleblower. I know exactly who you're talking about. But they
They
tried to
killed him.
dismiss him and just, sweep it under the carpet. But him and his friends was down there trying to fight them because they special forces for us. But they said they don't know what is underneath that ground deep down in Middle Earth. But it's some stuff going on. It's whole cities down there. But that's not what they telling us.
Right, right. And I want to go back to Ender's Game real quick because I don't think people are putting together Ender's Game and this reality that they're doing with our children. Uh, okay, we talk about adrenochrome and all of that, which is what they were doing on Ender's Game because they were putting the children in these simulated fight modules. So I live in Detroit, Michigan. They closed most of our schools. They closed most of our public schools, okay? Not that I'm mad about that, I'm all right with that, but they've been doing that for years and taking our money. The point I'm making is that they don't have any money. The state doesn't have any money for public education, which they're using our tax dollars, but it's a ton of money for coding. And every university wants our melanated child, and I mean they got coding for black and brown kids, free coding. Google is here big time. Amazon is here big time. So when you watching Ender's Game, be aware when you see these tech companies and these colleges offering free coding, what they want. This is why this is important to watch Ender's Game. Is your child to fix the artificial intelligence mechanism that controls facial recognition? Because they haven't done it, and who's choosing to do it? That's why. Remember, Hidden Figures. They wasn't getting shit off the ground without them sisters of color. So be aware, your child. to create these programs and apps and stuff. They want coding because your melanated child is going to fix the problem that they can't fix with the artificial intelligence mechanism. Your child is going to do that. So be aware. So that's why, I mean, we are talking about Dune, but these are all things that sort of connect you, let you know that it's all relevant today. This stuff is going on today. Look how old Dune is. Look how old Dune is, but it's still going on today. It's relevant. These movies are relevant.
Movies as old as I am.
Some of them older than me. I'm 49. So imagine how old Star Wars was, how old I was when we got on a field trip and went to go see Star Wars. It was banging. Star Wars was field trip worthy. Okay, the first movie was a field trip. We wasn't playing. So that's why we do it. Time
Mother Matriarch Salima Ellis. I have another broadcast at 5 p.m. So in a few minutes, all of you are invited to join me there. It's okay. I'd like for us to wrap it up. Everyone share, starting with Tech. If you would share with us your closing words here and tell everyone again who you are and where they can contact you at. And after Tech, I would like for Marcia to do the same, then Salima, then Ramutef, and then we're gonna sign out and head over to the 5 p.m. broadcast. If y'all gonna join me there, that'd be great. And if everybody would mute their mic until it's their time to speak, that would be excellent. Gratitude.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Again, cool, awesome. Go by. I have many attributes. Okay, I have many attributes. The 99 names of the Netaru. Okay, going through the attributes. So I'll go by Ra, go by Mentat, go by Tech. Okay, I can be found on. I'm mainly on Instagram and Facebook. Okay, that's why I post most of my content at Instagram and Facebook. So on Instagram, you can find me at TEKH _ Unk ANKH. Amin AMEN Ra. So Tech _ Unk Amin Ra. All right. As the reincarnation of Tech Unk Amun. But that's a whole nother story. On Facebook, you can find me at Amin Ra, AMNRA. Last name Anak, NANAKH Amun. Now, real quick, we have many different spellings of our different attributes. Okay, so Unk, Anak, Anuk. Long story short, okay. And on that note, I look forward to joining y'all on a future broadcast. I'll definitely be tuning in to the next one. You know, it's Sunday. It's a day of soul, and I'd love to continue this new Syrian celebration that is our home capital. Okay, so say to you guys, Ashuk Wu Nuwa, divine love, divine light.
Hello, everyone. Peace and love. This is Marcia Harris Owens of Common Sense, COMMONSCENTS. And my Facebook group, that's where you can find a lot of information, like the last 8 years of me doing research and truth finding. My website is www.commonsense4.org or .com. Everything's not on my website, but if you call me on the phone, we can have a conversation and I'll see what you need. 757-383-0202. My husband is Black Star Organized. He makes different organized crystals and gemstones, shirts, caps, more science temple articles. This is one of his pieces, but he makes everything from small pieces for children up until full-size skulls. So you can reach him, Black Star Organite, on Facebook. And I'm going to turn the mic over because I know we're stressed for time.
Salima, you had to unmute your mic. Gratitude.
This is Salima. You can find me on Facebook on my personal page, Salima Ellis. You can find me at my school page, Universal Mind School of Evolution, where I post all kind of things for unschooling our people so that we can homeschool and really get our minds right. You can also find me on my Pattern Masters page and check us out. Check us out. Support the panel. Come back and listen to us a little bit later. Kick some knowledge and join. We love to hear your comments and thank you all for having me. I'll turn it over.
Peace, peace, peace. This is Ramatep Web. I'm Anouk Ramatep Web. I'm Ramatep Web. You can find me on Facebook as Ramatep Web. You can find me on Instagram as Ramatep_Web. I'm the keeper of Tep, which is time. I thank you for everyone joining us. Definitely. Happy New Year's. Happy Rampet to everybody.
I wasn't saying nothing, y'all. Just saying peace and getting cleaning up in here and getting ready for my next broadcast. I appreciate everyone being here. The comment section, y'all live, y'all lit today. I appreciate the divine energy. Is fire. It's the energy. I appreciate y'all. We about to speak about eternal presence here. Some of you saw us last year in pictures, so y'all call it the big black head that's behind us in the images. We're going to speak on that and some others around the world and some knowledge on keeping up with what we can take care of and staying in line with what we've been given by the ancestors and the ones before us, so to mark and keep track of who we are and where we are. So we're going to talk in the next broadcast primarily about keeping track and keeping up with what we can, such as the eternal presence, the big head here, and we'll be talking to you soon about that. We about to leave out of here. Miss Empress Lulu, what's your name you gave yourself today?
Lulu.
What's the other name you gave yourself?
Yeah, the name I made up.
Yeah, the name you made up, the name you gave yourself. What is it?
Moon Fox.
Moon Fox. All right, so Karmic Dynasty and Moon Fox, we out of here. We out of here. Peace. See you all. Gratitude. Oh, true. No wonder I can't get. Okay. Y'all know what? Hold up. Peace, y'all. Peace.